Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mindseye. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Right now we're only on YouTube for today. So there's a lot kind of going on about at least for the current events. Today on Monday, they are talking about as I'm watching Fox News a little bit. It really is about Luigi Mangione, and Luigi Mangione, it is a big deal, a huge deal about this because it was the way he was served, it was the way he walked out, and all the cards came flying on through. So we'll take a look at this. I'll take a look at this. All right. So you got the Seven of Pentacles. It's something that was like work time that I get out of the Seven of Pentacles. And then when you see this on this page of wands, you actually look at this and you say, it really wasn't like quick, anything quick. There was something about like communication between United Healthcare and about Luigi Mangione. And when you see the Six of Pentacles, it like was no equal give and take. There was nothing like to it. It looks like crazy grandiose. And this is where his defense is that it was nothing crazy about himself, about his family, about healthcare benefits, that it was like he was like done with everything. He couldn't understand. So when you see this Three of Swords come out, it actually physically hurt a lot of people. What had happened. When you see this, there's something of like working together. I see teams prior to the event, and I don't know why. It's highly sourceful and dictative. I'd have to say it's like policy procedures. I'd have to say it's like committee making. And I see something that like a wish was fulfilled about I'm seeing 550, and then I see like 90 people. When I see this and I see the Five of Swords come in, it's like light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know why I hear Princess Diana. So this is a little bit more like a deep dive all of a sudden. But slow it down just a little bit. Any questions or concerns, all the other websites are on the link tree. Also, if you wanted to give a donation or a tip, tomorrow we're going to be talking about Antarctica on Patreon. That is for members only. It's $10. You can go ahead and sign up, and then you get more access to a little bit more in-depth details. So that actually got thrown right in my face a little bit. There are details on suspect and shooting of the guardsman. Then we have Princess Diana with this light in the tunnel. What do we need to know about this? The imprisonment. There's a sort about incarceration and imprisonment, 3-ply toilet paper. This has to be something about like an illness. Suspect drove cross country to kill. Okay. On point, like I'm seeing like a pencil of a pen point. All right. And wait, with all of these, all you need to know is that the energy and the cards are saying that the Ace of Wands, it's something that comes on quick. When you look at Luigi Mangione, when you look at Princess Diana, and then you look at the gentleman who harmed the guardsman down in DC. When you see the Five of Cups, it's like a rush in through. And I don't know why I hear the band Rush. And I see I hear the song Tom Sawyer. It's a little bit like Twilight Zone. It's like formal review. And then you have to go to it. Like all of a sudden you have to go to it. So when I see the Knight of Pentacles, like they couldn't get like a healthcare contract. They couldn't get like a job contract. They couldn't get like a military. They couldn't get like any form of a contract. I'm saying like a form Why I see DA doesn't mean district attorney, it means DA, something else. When I see this Queen of Wands, they like they had it's something about UTIs with them. Knight of Wands in reverse. Slow. Like slow. Very slow. When I see this, all of a sudden, like it's a driving force. It is like a driving force. All of a sudden. When I look at this and I see the King of Wands, it is nobility. And I look and I say, it is noble. And when I see this and I see the Eight of Cups in reverse, you can't go to it. They're like, you can't go to the doctor. You can't go. They're like, no, I got you. They're like, no, you can't go to the doctor. You got to stay home. And you got to think it out. And you got to talk it out like a crazed loon. When you see the devil in reverse, it was like even, the DPH, the CDC, the DEA are like, how much are they taking? At what time? Everything on OTCs, everything. When you see the Nine of Pentacles, there is like this sense of prudency with 4, 5, and 9. I hear those numbers. When I see this and I see the Three of Cups, there's something about the word celebrate that actually means something else. 6 of Wands, no victory. So there's no clouds. So then, as I was watching David Wilcock yesterday, he was talking about some biblical things about like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and how it was something about like coming down on a cloud, about Jesus, about walking on water and on the cloud, and the ascension. And when they talked about it, and many, I would say in the last 3 to 5 years, how they said the 3D to 5D and the level of consciousness and to ascension. Ascension symptoms would be like they all need to be like in this state of grace where they're going to say something almost like head injury victims. And because usually the 3D to 5D and they're talking about the consciousness, it's everything about their senses. It's almost like a blocked ESP. It's usually about like everything right here. It's not so much their crown chakra. It really is something about the ear. So Trump announced his third world migration. I'd have to say with the 6 of words, it's like true. It's like true. To the Queen of Pentacles, I have to go, yeah, you actually have to. There's something about it. Oh my gosh. So when I see the Queen of Pentacles, they're sitting well. And then here we go. Something about their ages too. Looking at it, it's something about third degree and third world order. Ace of Cups in reverse, highly counterintuitive, that man. Highly counterintuitive to a foregoing his own. 9 of Cups in reverse. Something about a gift and a cup of coffee. When I see this, it's when you see the Magician, like someone or them or all of them works everything about themselves and it gets like known. Here we go. A Normand. Here it is, the 3. It is a ship. It is, it's the 10 of Spades. I would watch it and be literally wary and leery. The luck is a whole bunch of diamonds down to the Louvre. Did you see this type of trolling? Trolling is like a plan of urgency. It also is the play out, like we talked about, anti-ICE protests turned violent in NYC. Absolutely, down to the plans. Like some people are like showing like everything about themselves. So when I see this 17 and it's the Queen of Hearts, you go, hold them to it. Hold them to it. So when you actually go and you say the 28 with this gentleman with this Ace of Hearts, there's something about like a formal gift going. There was something about when I see this coffin on this card, the 8 to the 9 of diamonds. There was something about a death, and like we had said prior, there's something about diamonds and a 14, a 15, and a 9. When you see this and you go, all right, the 20 with the 6 of spades, I don't see it like how these odd tests would happen when they had issues with the Gambino crime family down in Long Island, where things would actually like show up with like gruesome graphic deaths like visible in the public with them holding the Ace of Spades. But when you look at it and it goes catechism to Catholicism to talking about like trying to link everything through and pull on through, you have the 800 orphans and they were not consecrated. You can tell by the bones. It stated in many, many articles the multiple frauds scandals uncovered in Minnesota. Something about the flu. There's something about the flu. Something about chimney. I'm seeing a chimney, the flu, the lining. It's like some people were placed in the universe where they live now in their current date and time, wherever their lifetime is. Here's those who believe in past lives. Like they're there, they're looking around, they're like, I swear I'm gonna go crazy because everywhere like I'm supposed to be right here. So when I see this and I see this cross, you actually like go to church. You go to church. When you see this and you go 35, anchor, and then you see 9 of spades. Yeah, there's something about the year 1998 before Y2K where all was like slim and slum. Now when you see 19 and you see this, out here we have Gillette's Casa. There's something about that man that keeps standing out about Candlelit and like Candelabra to Phantom of the Opera, to a show, to a dine-in, to the diner on a West Wing way. And you can't see it, and you can't see it coming. But it's right there. It's like, how about we go to the diner and get like quick breakfast, and then we'll go get some tea. And you go, that's actually really, that's probably best. It's probably best. Did I get it out? So when I see it and I go, here it is, the Queen of Diamonds. Someone has a hold to it. So, in past videos and others, they have talked about like, is there a shadow government? Is there like issues with the deep state? Because we do talk about the deep state publicly, and we talk about the cabal publicly. We have not talked about the Illuminati. We have not talked about the all-knowing and the all-seeing eye to the OEN. But when we go to the OEN, you can go nowhere. It's not going to be good. That is where I'm seeing a lot of people still forewarning about like the electricity. There's warning about the storms, weather storms, all forms of storms and meaning. They're talking about being in your home, almost a mashallah, a maritime law. All these things are into play. So let's look at the plating article. What else do we need to know? Because it's coming right back to Luigi Mangione. What do we need to know? All right. There's something about a stellar family. These are people that you've been with for like a really, really long time. And they know you really well. And like even if you lose something, like maybe you hit somebody, or maybe you grab somebody, maybe you told a lie, maybe you said this, and they go, I wouldn't really worry about that. Literally, that's that sign. Like they're just gonna go kiss you on the cheek, and they're gonna give you a hug because it's your energy. There's something about everyone in like certain energies still where they can do it, and they can go da, 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 run in their mouth, and they go, no, they're fine. They're also fine. They're still like so passionate, like in love. I don't know why somebody needs to hear that today. Absolutely. When you see this and you say like the fifth dimensional access, there's something about like elevating and letting yourself sit and everything about yourself that is 100 true, like 100 true. We have to talk about that. But when you see this and you say like portals, there's something about opening doors. Opening doors. When you see this and you see galactic core, how would I explain galactic core? Something about connecting to the universe. That some people actually need some like forgiveness because they saw it, they heard it, felt it, it's true. And almost like a matter of fact psychic, where they don't even need to divinate that much. But you should, even if you're that good, because you got to get it out of here. Then you're pent up. Something about diets, I see like huge like diet changes suddenly. You just not to know when. When you see the home plate, it's about currency. It's not Bitcoin. I would have to say it's more the dong. When I see this and I see quantum heart, they're regenerating it. When you see this and you see star centers, there's like areas for radio. When you see this sacred, even like there's marriages that like they walk in, and all of a sudden they're like, it's like a type of nuptials. It's odd, but it's legal and it's lawful. You see this mother father healing? Yep, I see a lot more retirements. Like we're done, all done. When you see this, you see expansion and compassion. Yep. All of a sudden they look at every angle, every viewpoint, and when they look at the situation again in their personal life, in their home, and they go, don't even worry about it. It'll work out. All right. This is all from like Thanksgiving. All from Thanksgiving. So a little bit of topsy-turvy internet connection. I did expect that on Cyber Monday. I did expect that last week on Tuesday. I did expect disrupt even tomorrow a little bit. We do have a winter storm warning out here in Connecticut. But what do we need to know out of the light series here? What do we need to know? All right. There's something that really hurts. Really hurts. And when you see this and you see the Four of Pentacles in reverse, there's no like securement. They don't understand securement. So there really is this like no new offering. When you see this and you see Temperance in reverse, it actually is like energy balance. When you see this and you see the King of Pentacles in reverse, there's something about greed. When you see the Emperor, it has to do with masculine energy. Take it as you leave it and as it resonates with you. When you see this and you see the Five of Pentacles in reverse, you go, there is a little bit of like relief. But when you see the Page of Swords in reverse, you go, holy cow, where's the documents on it? And you go, no. So looking at this powerful snowstorm wallops, Midwest. When I used to hear it and growing up, and it comes into a wallop, it's like what they call in gay like a curdelay, and a curdelay comes in and it like lances through, where like people actually drop low. So I would have to say healthcare. I would watch diabetic symptoms, even those who had been dinged by or victims from like cocaine and heroin addicts. They're gonna drop overnight a lot. Usually at 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. You're gonna have to probably wake people up and say you need to have like a cup of coffee and have a meal. They're not diabetic though. All right, they're back at Stockton, and they're looking for. They're like fixated on the 4 at this children's birthday party. It was a 10. It was now 11. Lancelot. Something about power, like King Arthur flower, and literally you couldn't even like make it up at all. So when you see this and you see the hermit, there's something about like solitude. All right, he won't say. He's highly disturbed, the sheriff, highly disturbed by this, or he just sits in his office and goes, next. Sorry, next. Yep, nope, thank you. Yep, he literally cannot work at it. So that's how you know it's high profile. That's how you know that because there's minors, we're going to go gentle. We're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to go gentle and make sure that everything is okay. Two females. I see two females. Yeah, even the cards don't even want to talk about this. So when I'm looking at Trump stepped up pressure and narco terrorism, and I'm seeing Central America, and I'm seeing California, and then I couldn't even make it up of this type of like phenomena, how they have Stockton. We had an issue, we had an arrest, last name of Compton, and then Tupac and Biggie come out and then regulate. You have to say, what were they doing in the streets? There's something about a move on. When you see the Six of Swords, it's about waters. It's about like calm. It's about moving on. It's about knowing, and like N-O, knocking it out, and K-N-O-W. It's about read. I'd have to say we'd have to readdress Karen Reed on why, like actual like aroma, like down to like everything. When you see this and you see the Six of Cups in reverse, some people actually really don't remember it and they don't like that. When you see the 5 of Swords, this is the actual depiction right here in the light sayers. They're like, no, they don't remember that. I'd have to say, I feel that those children, like out here, our children had odd symptoms of severe malnutrition, and the parents are obese, and they look awful, where you can't even understand it. It's about something. When you see this card, Justice, look how this woman is like in a mirror image. Can't even make it up. 9 of Cups in reverse. They're not contented. These are like old souls. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. They're not prudent when it comes to it. Knight of Swords in reverse. Stale air, stagnation. You go into the homes if you're a clinician and you go, let's get some airflow in here. Just open up the windows, even though it's like 20 degrees out, and you get some fresh air. So when you see this and you see the Seven of Swords, you go, it's at night. It's always between 5 and 9. What is this between 5 and 9? 5 and 9. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. My God. So let's actually down to Venezuela. That's all. Usually presidents don't do that. Down on the fleet. Here we go. So going back to Trump, warns military action could be imminent. There's something about divine splendor, especially with those children in California. Something about knowing. Okay, so if you go right to Linktree, someone was asking about where do you donate for a reading. If you go to Linktree and right in Linktree, you'll see the $sign, and it goes right to the Venmo. So about cauldron. There's like, when I see this, it's like outward. It's like conjuring. It's old form of conjuring. So I'm looking at, the diversity and the heritage and the culture of California down to Central America, and you look at it, it's like all of them are in the kitchen. All of Latin Americans and Hispanics and Latinos, they're sitting there and they're stirring. And when they're stirring, I see bay leaves. And when I see it, I'm not seeing Santeria. I'm seeing like white, their version of white magic. So I see this and I see praying mantis. There's something about when I see this and I go, like, glove is something about money, complacency, and everything about it. Everything. Like, when I see freedom, I couldn't even believe it. When I see this, mastery and strength, the lion, down to like the teacup, and I'm looking at the movie, like the bundling bags of where they're drinking and they're sleeping together and they're separate. And when they're separate, they're all sewn up in this bundling bag. And like you can tell if they hate each other because their teeth are black. But the future, something about the future, nostalgia, like we've seen this trick before and we don't like it. Intellect is right in the back of their mind. It's almost like a safety instinct mechanism in everyone, rooted, planted. It what haunts us, and we go, oh my God, Lake effects now. Something was like not Jake and Riley about aliens. We're back to aliens. What makes someone an alien? It's like 40 gifts and above. Not how I learned it. Alien is like thousands of gifts running, like clean and sober, of the mind, body, and soul. Like, how are you going to get to that point? You can't even. I feel like I'm sneezing again. Oh, gosh. When you see this, you see family, and they're like, you're an alien. You go to bravery. Yep, they came out of the closet. They came right out of the closet. I can't use it like down to Canton and Chris. They're healing. They're absolutely healing. Oh my God. It's awful. Dishonesty. Did they sell it wrong? I'd have to say, like, I think there was some misinformation over the last few years about aliens and UFOs and ETs. Okay. Here we go. So going back to Central America and about aliens and about UFOs and ETs and all of that. What else? What else? What else? Here it is. There's something about like happiness. There's something about the Seven of Cups is like this like great grand offering. When you see this and you go the Five of Pentacles, you go, holy cow, holy. There is some money loss, burden. That's what it really wants us to know right now. To like teamwork, apprenticeship, like working togetherness. And then all of a sudden, like something actually comes in and is offered. When you see this, there's no conjuring, there's no getting, because when you really look at this card from the Gold Tarot, this woman is in her circle. There was nothing about it, really nothing. When you see this also, the Ten of Swords, it really is a quick, sharp done. But it has a lot to do with like legal and judicial and contracts and military and law enforcement, where like they're so sharp edge with a blink they cut like the behavior out. So lastly, to close out, when you have this Page of Swords, it's no offering to it, and it ends quickly. It really does, down to untimely deaths. It's odd. It's really odd. And it's not sourceful because you got the Hierophant now. Like I said, December is highly dictated by this card, the Hierophant, about source, about knowledge, about inner knowing, about what is your source, what is your vetting, what is everything that you're getting your information from. So basically, always set yourself that you can go get it at the library, you can go get it at the courthouse, you can go get everything that is getting talked about everywhere, and it's already been confirmed. So when I see this, you're not going to get your confirmations correctly on a lot of things this week, because it's called like what they used to call like a divorce, and a divorce means a mix-up. It's a type of mix-up, and that's all you need to know. So with that being said, that's all we have to say and all we need to know right now. Any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, and share. It's greatly appreciated. Links to Linktree for anything else that you need from me is right there, and we will talk to you soon.